So we have had another pipeline spill. This time, according to the Associated Press, the pipeline spilled more than 8,000 gallons of jet fuel into an Indiana river. Now, the affected river was St. Mary's River in Decatur, which is a town of about 9,500 people, about 100 miles from Indianapolis. Now, Decatur Mayor Kenneth Meyer told the Fort Wayne, Indiana-based Journal-Gazette that cleaning the spill could take weeks because it's not exactly easy to get jet fuel out of a river. Now, Houston-based Buckeye Pipeline Company, LP, which owns the pipeline, had confirmed the spill to a local station on Saturday, and company officials said that there had been a failure Friday evening that had caused the spill. So what kind of failure? I don't know. Failure of the pipeline to do what it's supposed to do and not spill. But the reality is pipelines spill all the time. Now, according to the Journal-Gazette, one of the workers discovered a pressure drop, went immediately in to check on it, and then immediately shut it down. You can say, well, I mean, at least they shut it down, but not before 8,000 gallons of jet fuel ended up getting into the river. Now, Adams County Emergency Management Agency Director John August told local station in Indiana, WANE, that drinking water in Decatur should not be impacted because it's sourced from wells and not the river. He said that the air might smell a little strange, but that there was no danger. Well, look, I don't necessarily believe that. But hey, isn't it fortunate that not a lot of people drink from the river? Except maybe for the wildlife that drinks from the river. What's going to happen to them? Oh, and to make sure not to let your kids swim near the river, and make sure not to fish near the fish in the river either. Also, the police have said that you shouldn't smoke or have open flames near the river because if you do, there's a chance that the river could light itself on fire. Well, so that's fun. Hey, Indiana, isn't it nice that you can light your river on fire? From jet fuel? Jesus, man. This is what's happening to so many of our waterways. Pipelines burst. And look, the Trump administration is making it easier to do this because to build shoddy pipeline. They're removing regulations left and right. They've turned the EPA, and the EPA that was formerly under Scott Pruitt, basically was stripping regulations left and right. That's what they do. They hate regulation. So as you have less and less regulation, you end up having more and more spills. But you know something that I've never heard of happening? A sunlight spill, a wind spill. Look, I know jet fuel, right? Which isn't like as numerous as oil and gas pipelines, but they still have a tendency to spill. They still have a tendency to have issues. And so, look, what we need to do is we need to figure out a way to power things without needing all these pipelines, without having to use fossil fuels. Now, look, I know battery technology has advanced, but it's not quite there, right? Now, my solution is actually invest more into it as the government. Think about it. With enough investment and enough time, we can make batteries far more efficient and actually revolutionize transport. And that's the thing. I believe that we need a Marshall Plan for our society when it comes to energy. We need to completely rebuild our energy grid away from fossil fuels. Think about how crazy this is. Our cars still running the same fuel that the first cars over 100 years ago ran on. That's insane. There are companies out there looking to change that, of course, but they exist in the private sector. Now, the private sector doesn't allow taking of risks unless profit is almost assured. So they can't look into technologies that are a little bit more out there. They can't take certain risks. They don't have as many resources as the government does. That's why government needs to get involved in this. They need to do the R&D business for battery technology or for hydrogen power or for some forms of nuclear that don't generate waste and don't have a risk of catastrophic meltdown, like what's happening in Fukushima. That's what we should be doing. Instead, we're laying pipe and fucking the earth. That's what's going on. And look, this isn't the last pipeline spill by far. No. They spill all the time. In fact, just the last 6 months in Indiana alone, a pipeline owned by Marathon Petroleum leaked 42,000 gallons of diesel into Big Creek in Posey Creek, Indiana, back in March. And it's averaged across the entire United States that a pipeline spills at least once a day. Once a day. We have to push for alternative energies because there is no such thing as a safe, leak-proof pipeline, but there are technologies out there that we can look into, that we can invest in, that will be better, not only for the planet, but for society at large. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.